Hi, welcome back to our next video.
Big
Is our
sand dunes.
farewell to the camper trailer.
Not what I'll be like.
So, after getting out of Mungo National Park, we came down to Mildura, and I think I showed a little bit of that before. But yeah, hitting Mildura was pretty cool. Now we are out just near Wentworth at the Perry Sandhills. These are nothing like what I thought they'd look like. And there's a little bit of drone footage coming up, which sort of gives you an idea of how big these sand dunes are. And they're just sort of in the middle of nowhere. You know, everything around it looks to be like farmland and things like that. And it's very, very awesome. I just love this shot from the top of the sand dunes. You get a bit of an idea of how flat the surrounding landscape is. It's got that real desert feel to it. The red sand, the little green, whatever those are. Pretty cool. You can sort of still see the rain, or the damp soil from the rain that we'd had the night and the few days before. And over on the right hand side of the shot you can sort of see the water on the property, sort of beyond the dunes themselves. How interesting is that? Here's the drone shot. So there's the car park, the water from the rain over the handful of days ahead of us that we'd had before, and roads, sand dunes. It's just amazing. I really, really enjoyed the trip out here. Gives you an idea of how flat this part of the world can be. Anyway, with the drone safely back on the ground, we headed off to Orange World. So we did a tour and it was just fabulous. The guys there showed us through that little part of it, which is where they process the oranges, and then we hopped on to a little bus. Well, it wasn't a bus, it was a little trammy, trainy sort of thing, and drove around through all of the oranges. After a while we're then back in Mildura. It was really interesting, sort of around sunset. Fabulous, fabulous part of the world, and as you can see it's still grey, dark, a little bit of rain, and we're driving across the Murray River. One of the last times we're packing up the camper trailer. Really sort of sad. We didn't know it at the time, and I did this time lapse because we knew we were eventually going to sell it, and I was going to use that, but it sold earlier than I thought it was going to. And this is a bit of a walk around of the mud on the car. Check it out. This is just from coming down to or from Mungo National Park. It's on the mirrors. The side steps are just full of mud. You can see how much is collected on the mud guards, on the stone protector on the camper trailer. No, unbelievable. But you know, what do? You go out to these remote places, you get caught out by the rain and the mud. Anyway, we moved on to Darlington Point. We camped there and it was just beautiful. Great little caravan park. Highly recommend it. There's the wiki camps thing. If you want to go there. This was just on sunset, and all of a sudden, while I'm doing this voiceover, there's a thunderstorm. Okay, not only is the thunderstorm gone, but we've moved on to Altina Wildlife Park. Not far from Darlington Point. We spent hours and hours and hours. It's not like a traditional zoo where you're allowed to walk around and look at all of the animals at your own pace. Basically what you do is book a tour, and you get this wonderful tour guide who takes you around all of the animals. And some of them are Australian, like our magnificent dingoes. Some of them aren't. Some of them are from overseas, and they're there for research purposes. Some are a bit of a combination, like the water buffaloes, which is sort of really fun, seeing an animal like the water buffalo that's not native to Australia but is endemic to Northern Australia at a place like this. And it's actually quite a safe place to check out some of these animals that are, you don't get to see them all the time. And yeah, it's nice to see them from the comfort of one of the tours. We thought it was pretty cool. They've got a handful of bison, and bison are cool. The last time we saw them were in in San Francisco, and we walked for miles and miles and miles to get to see them. And basically, they're just like a giant hairy cow. Really enjoyed seeing them. And these little fellas, pretty much like a giant guinea pig. They're fun. From South America, they're a cavy, and we really enjoyed seeing them. Interestingly, there's our tour guide feeding the zebra. One of the mysteries of life is black animal with white stripes, white animal with black stripes. By the way, it doesn't really matter. You get to see them, relatively speaking, up close. And the resident ostriches, they're pretty cool. These guys are too, hyenas. Noisy, fun, and the tour guide really seemed to enjoy working with them, which is always a good thing. Then we got onto the main attraction, the big cats. Amazing how tall these guys are, or girls are. Again, really enjoyed it. We spent a whole bunch of time watching how they interact with the animals and work with them so that they can inspect. So you can see that she's got the paw up so that they can see if there's any problems with the claws, maybe foreign objects stuck in the bottom of the pads of the feet. And they also get them, although you can't hear it, they get them to roar or speak, I suppose, basically so that they can see their teeth, make sure that there's no teeth that are problematic, falling out, loose, damaged. They can also see their tongue, which gives them a fair bit of useful information about the animal. And these are African painted dogs. They're pretty cool. I've seen these at a few different zoos, and they're just really fun to watch. They make a cool noise. They're sort of like a giggly type of animal, at least in this shot. So this is the second part of farewell to the camper trailer. As I said earlier, we didn't know this was going to be our last trip in it. The caravan that we had ordered arrived shortly after we got home, and we sold the poor old camper trailer to friends of ours. So hit the like and subscribe button and you'll see some of the footage of the van coming up soon.